Now, Senator John Kennedy, Republican from the great state of Louisiana, joins us now. Mr. Senator, Trump's lining up all these massive investments. He's made defense agreements with a number of countries. Is this a new era of American involvement in the Mideast?
Well, I hope so. American foreign policy is an enduring struggle, Stuart, between values and interests. We know American values: freedom, rule of law, personal responsibility, merit, equal opportunity. Not all countries, in fact, most countries don't share those values. Take Qatar, for example. They don't share any of those values. Do I trust Qatar? Of course not. They will eat your liver with some lava beans and a nice Chianti. Does that mean I want to be enemies with Qatar? No. Why? Because you don't have to be Mensa material to see that the world is in the midst of this grand struggle between the United States and other countries that share our values, and China, Russia, and Iran. And she is the mastermind. And she wants Russia to dominate Eastern and Central Europe, Iran to dominate the Middle East, China to dominate the Indo-Pacific, with freedom of roam in sub-Saharan Africa, South America, space, and the Arctic. And we need all the friends we can get in that fight. And that's really what's going on.
So how do you think he's doing? How do you think our president is doing facing the authoritarians and this new world order?
Well, I think he's doing much better than President Biden, and I think he's doing well, and there are a couple of reasons for that. No disrespect, but number one, he's not President Biden. I mean, these other countries saw what we saw. Unfortunately, President Biden couldn't finish a sentence without taking a nap. President Trump is a lot more energetic. Number two, I don't know whether they love President Trump or they're just scared to death of him. But either way, it's working. You know, Nolan Ryan still holds a major league record for strikeouts, but people forget he also hit 158 batters. They were scared to death of Nolan Ryan. That's why he had so many strikeouts.
I didn't know about that. I'm afraid I was out in the country in those days.
I understand.
Senator, I want you to listen to what Trump had to say about his big, beautiful bill. Roll tape, please.
I think a lot of Democrats are going to be forced to vote for the bill because, you know, you add this new element that if this bill passes, you're going to get a 50 to 90% reduction in prescription drugs and pharmaceuticals. When you add that in, how does a Democrat not vote? I think that the Republicans are very unified and something would happen where they will get this vote.
Mr. Senator, I don't want to nitpick, but there's only $1.5 trillion in spending cuts in this bill. And I noticed, strangely, that the work requirements for Medicaid don't kick in until 2029. You see a problem there?
Yes, and we'll fix it in the Senate. But here's what you've got to remember about the bill. And I hope the president's right, but we'll see. The most important thing in this bill is to cut taxes. If we don't do anything, the 2007 tax cuts are going to expire. And that means taxes go up for $4.3 trillion on the American people. It will tank this economy. A lot of our people will be living in refrigerator boxes behind Outback. I mean, it will throw us into a recession. If we get any Democratic votes, and I doubt we will, frankly, but it'll be because they don't want to be blamed for raising taxes. Now, there are other parts of it that are important. Spending. I mean, right now, there's not enough spending cuts in this bill to my liking. Those work requirements for our social programs ought to kick in immediately. We've got a lot of work to do in the Senate, but we also got to pass the bill. And I want to do as much as we can until we run out of votes. We've got to pass this bill or taxes are going to go up.
Well, Senator Ron Johnson says the bill contains massive overspending, and he plans to vote no if there are not massive spending cuts. What's your response to him?
Ron's right. He's absolutely right. I mean, his idea is that we have 3 Republican senators and 3 Republican House members sit down with Russ Vought at the Office of Management and Budget and go through the entire budget line by line by line by line. We could have had it done by now if we'd started when Ron first suggested it. That's what we ought to do. We met with the president about it. He was okay with it. Why we haven't done that, I don't know. I'm labor, not management. But if we did that, we could reduce more spending. And Ron's right. But I'm not. Look, we've got to renew those tax cuts, Stuart. It will tank this economy if we don't. And that, to me, is my lodestar.
It's got to be done quickly.
Yeah.
It really does, because if it's not done quickly, the market will and the economy will react very badly, I suspect. Senator Kennedy, always a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks very much for being with us. Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Thank you
Stu.
very much. Yes, sir.